guys, welcome to Storytime Part 11. Before I get started today, I do just want to say that Eden let me know the other day that there's actually a movie on Netflix called Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. Of course, I had to watch it, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it, but I do have to say, it's a lot different than the book. So if you watch it, keep an eye out for all the things that have happened a little differently than how it happened in the book, because I noticed a lot of things. I did notice a lot of things, though, that had been mentioned in the book that I thought were cool that they worked them in, though. So, if you have Netflix and you decide to watch the movie, keep an eye out for all the things that are different. But thank you, Eden, for letting me know that there's a movie because I really did enjoy it. Last time we read in chapters 29, 30, and 28, 29, and 30, they were playing the Bibliomania game. They were, they had formed alliances. Charles, Andrew, and Haley Daly were now on a team, and they had just gotten some clues. They put them all together, and they got this thing, and everywhere it says need is where they don't have a clue, so they have to find all those clues. So we're going to read chapters 31, 32, and 33 today. So does anybody have a clue as to why we're supposed to find this book? Asked Kyle. He and his teammates were back in the young adult room staring at the cover of Get to Know Your Local Library. Too early to tell, said Miguel. Let's keep playing. This book will probably make more sense once we go into the other rooms and pick up more clues. Whose turn is it? Asked Akemi. Yours, said Kyle. Flick the spinner. Akemi finger-kicked the plastic pointer. Purple, she yelled when the arrow slid to a stop. The 800s. That means you move 8 spaces, mumbled Kyle. Except today, Akemi reached for the card on top of the purple stack. When she saw what was written on it, she frowned. What's the clue? Asked Kyle. Something about literature, rhetoric, or criticism? Asked Miguel. Nope, said Akemi. It's a wild card with a riddle. Read it, said Sierra. I rhyme with dart and Cracker Jacks. Visit me and find a rhyme for Andy. Peckelman? Said Kyle. How'd he get his name on a game card? Bro, said Miguel. Nobody calls Andrew Peckelman Andy. Of course, it could mean Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States. Or Andy Panda, said Akemi. Or Andrew Carnegie, said Sierra. He was a generous supporter of libraries. Okay, said Kyle. Let's concentrate on the first part of the riddle. What rhymes with dart and Cracker Jacks? Smart and heart attacks, suggested Miguel. Art and bric-a-bracs, said Sierra. Art and artifacts, said Akemi, nailing it. They hurried over to the art and artifacts room. Everybody check out the display cases, said Kyle. See if anything rhymes with the word Andy. Well, this model of the old bank building is certainly Grandy, said Miguel. And the Pharaoh's pyramid and Sphinx would be Sandy if they weren't made out of Legos. True, said Kyle, sounding unconvinced about both. Check it out, you guys, cried Akemi, who was studying a row of styrofoam heads sporting hats. This plaid fedora from 1968 was worn by a guy named Leopold Loblolly. So, said Kyle, according to this plaque, Loblolly was one of the notorious Dandy Bandits. Dandy rhymes with Andy. That it does, said Miguel. However, Loblolly does not. Neither does Leopold, added Kyle. Candy rhymes with Andy, said Sierra. She was staring at the objects of the display case under a banner reading, Welcome to the Wonderful World of Willy Wonka. Awesome, said Miguel, hurrying over to admire the collection of everlasting gobstoppers, glumptious gobblers, Laffy Taffy, and pixie sticks displayed under glass in a sea of purple velvet. Mr. Lemoncello is a lot like Willy Wonka, said Kyle. You mean crazy, said Akemi. I prefer the term eccentric. And Dr. Zinchenko is his Oompa Loompa, said Sierra. Everybody started giggling. Nah, Akemi joked. She's too tall. And not nearly orange enough, said Miguel. The Willy Wonka book was written by Roald Dahl, said Sierra, who Kyle figured could name 12 other books the guy wrote too. In it, Mr. Wonka takes Charlie and Grandpa Joe home in a flying glass elevator that crashes through the roof of his chocolate factory. Everybody thought about that for a second. So now we have to find a glass elevator, said Akemi, because there isn't one on the floor plan. But Mr. Lemoncello is just wild enough to build one, said Kyle, and if he did, he probably wouldn't put it on the floor plan. No way, said Miguel. Everybody would want to ride on it. I know I would, said Sierra. So we're seriously searching for a secret glass elevator, said Akemi. Maybe, said Kyle. Maybe not. This is just another piece of a gigantic jigsaw puzzle. We won't see the whole picture until we collect all the pieces. Or someone shows us the box lid, cracked Akemi. Look, it's only 6 p.m., said Kyle, and we're collecting a ton of good information. You mean a ton of random information, said Akemi. Well, said Miguel, once we have more clues, we can use Sherlock Holmes' famous deductive reasoning method to make logical connections between all the random junk. Works for me, said Kyle, but if we're going to play Sherlock Holmes, we need to go spin that spinner and dig up more clues. The game's afoot, said Sierra. Huh? Kyle and Akemi said it together. Sorry, it's just something Sherlock says to Watson whenever he gets excited. Sherlock Holmes. Kyle had just found another bunch of books to add to his reading list. Chapter 32. Okay, Sierra, said Kyle, your turn. Sierra flicked the spinner. The pointy tip ended up in the yellow 200 zone, so she went ahead and pulled a yellow card. It's definitely for the 200 section, she said, showing her clue to Miguel before revealing it to Kyle and Akemi. Weird, said Miguel. What? Said Akemi before Kyle could. Well, the 200s are where they keep books on world religions. But there are 2 numbers on this card, said Sierra. Maybe this time we need to find 2 books, suggested Kyle. I don't know, said Sierra, studying her card. 220.5203 is obviously a call number. Obviously, said Akemi, but this other number isn't the proper format. 2/2015. February 20th, 2015, said Akemi. Quick, what happened on that date? Nobody knows, said Kyle, because it hasn't happened yet. Oh, right. Okay, how about February 20th, 1915? That was the opening day of the Panama Pacific International Exposition in San Francisco, said Sierra. Jaws dropped. Sorry, I'm a big World's Fair fan. Everybody else just nodded. Finally, Miguel spoke up. Look, let's just go down to the 200s room and find 220.5203. We can figure out the second chunk later. The team once again trooped down to the second floor and worked their way around the circular balcony. You guys, said Sierra, looking across the atrium at the statues. Remember how they switched all the hologram authors when Bridget Wage did her extreme challenge? Yep, said Kyle. She was doing good till she got to the Russian dude. What Russian dude? Asked Miguel, who hadn't witnessed Bridget's elimination. Guy who wrote 5 or 6 books Sierra could tell you about. But look, said Sierra, now all the author statues are the same ones they were last night. So, said Kyle thoughtfully, if they can switch them around... These must be clues for our game, blurted Akemi. She pulled out a pen and her notepad. I'll write down their names. Start with the guy under the 000's wedge at the Wonder Dome, suggested Kyle. Right. Akemi read the labeled pedestals and jotted down all the authors' names. Thomas Wolfe, Booker T. Washington, Stephen Sondheim, George Orwell, Lewis Carroll, Dr. Seuss, Maya Angelou, Shel Silverstein, Pseudonymous Bosch, Todd Strasser. So, said Akemi when she finished writing, do you think this game could get any more complicated? Maybe, said Kyle. It's possible that Mr. Lemoncello left a couple different paths which led to the same solution. Well, personally, I can only take one path at a time, said Akemi, so let's go find 220.whatever. Should be in the next row of bookcases, said Miguel. Here we go. 220.5203, the King James Bible. Achterlehrbeer. I don't know how to say that. An excellent choice, said a man with a thick German accent. The 4 teammates spun around and were face to face with a semi-transparent guy in medieval garb with a fur-trimmed cap and beard that looked like 2 raccoon tails sewn together under his nose and chin. I am Johannes Gensfleisch Zerladen Gutenberg. There are so many words in here I can't say. Just bear with me. Said the holographic image, who had ink stains all over his fingertips. You created the Gutenberg Bibles on your printing press, gushed Sierra. Ja, big bestseller. You need help with your Bible? I am at your service. He bowed. Okay, said Akemi, turning to Miguel. Take it away, Miguel. Herr Gutenberg, sir, we're looking for 22015. Das ist in fact. Huh? That is easy. 2:20:15 is Exodus chapter 20, verse 15. Of course, said Miguel. Exodus is the second book of the Bible. 20 and 15 are the chapter and verse. He flipped through some pages. Here we go. Exodus chapter 20, verse 15. It's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal. It's a pretty good commandment, too. Chapter 33. Last one for today. Let's put the 2 new cards on the table, said Charles. He and his so-called teammates, Andrew and Haley, Charles planned on dumping them both right before he made his glorious solo exit from the library, had scoured the library together for hours looking for more book cover matches. Peckelman wasn't nearly as good with the Dewey Decimal System as he had claimed to be, and Charles needed someone to do that sort of thing for him. His father always hired tutors or research assistants for him whenever Charles had to do a major paper or report. Finally, around 6 in, coincidentally, the 600s room, they scored twice, finding T for You and Me, 641.3372, and Why Wait to Lose Weight, 613.2522. Now their picture puzzle had only 4 blanks remaining. There's the picture puzzle. Sheep, need, walk, guy throwing something, teapot, guy on the scale, schoolhouse maybe, church, house, I don't know, Indiana I think they said, and then a football player. Okay, said Andrew, I think it's pretty clear. Wooly, blank, walk up the skinny, blank, blank, house, Indian, and 19, blank. Charles nodded and said, interesting, even though he knew Peckelman was way off. Hello, said Haley. That doesn't make any sense. Sure it does, said Andrew. No it doesn't. In his head, Charles had decoded the clues so far as ew, a female sheep, blank, walk out, the way, blank, blank, in, and past, blank. But out loud he said, I think we just need to tweak Andrew's translation a little. Fine, go ahead, I don't care. Andrew slumped down in his seat to sulk. How about she, blank, walks out the skinny, blank, blank house, 500 and past blank. Where'd you get she? Asked Haley. From sheep, the card you gave us. Actually, I think the sheep is supposed to represent you because a ewe is a female sheep. Fascinating, said Charles. I didn't figure that out. What he did figure out was that Haley Daly was much smarter than he had assumed. She could be a serious threat, and no way was Charles sharing the prize with anybody, especially her. And how did you get 500 from Indiana, she asked. Simple. Indianapolis, the capital of Indiana, is home to a race known as the Indy 500. Okay, so how about you, blank, walk out the skinny, blank, blank, in, because the Nancy Drew book was about an in. 500 pass or past blank. Now Peckelman piped up. That makes more sense than what you said, Charles. Indeed, said Charles, sounding magnanimous. That's the word. Perhaps the clues are telling us to locate a secret skinny passageway 500 paces past some landmark here in the library. Andrew was excited. This is like the pirate map from Treasure Island. Or, said Haley, maybe these clues are telling us we need to go out and find the 4 books we haven't found yet. We should split up. I'll go back to the 400s room. We've already been there, said Andrew. Well, you guys might have missed something. Good idea, said Charles. He figured if Haley Daly wasted time retracing steps he and Andrew had already taken, she would find nothing new and become less of a threat. Let's meet back here at, say, 7? Fine. Haley left the meeting room. Charles went to the door and closed it. You know what we really need, he said to Andrew. Chocolate milk and maybe some cookies? Charles shook his head. No, Andrew, we need whatever clues Kyle Keeley and his team have found, especially if they have our missing cards. So Charles, Andrew, and Haley, really just Charles, they're all plotting against the other team. They want what they have, and the other team is just playing this game trying to figure out what in the world is going on and how to escape from the library. This is where we're at. We've already read this much. We've got this much left to read. I'm excited to see who makes it out first. If you watch that movie on Netflix, I would not say that it's a spoiler because we don't know yet. That movie's a lot different than the book so far, I think. Alright, before we go, I always have a little question or something at the end. And I am filming this on Friday the 24th. I don't know what day you'll see this, but today was supposed to be our 4th grade field day where we'd go out on the field and we'd play the games, the sack race, tug of war, all of those things. And my heart is really broken because I was really excited for that. I was really excited to experience that with you guys, but we don't get to do that this year. Instead, I am just reading y'all a book, and I am enjoying my time left as your teacher. But if you're watching this, go over to our discussions page. Let me know what your favorite part of field day is. Is it games? Is it getting to spend time with your friends and hang out while you're watching the other people play the games? Is it winning the awards? Is it the concession stands? Is it your parents getting to come watch you? What's your favorite game, maybe you'll tell me? What's your favorite part about field day? My favorite part about field day is definitely getting to spend time with you guys and play games with you and not have to worry about teaching you something, because as important as learning is, I think it's also important just to have fun sometimes. So that's what I'm missing out the most today, is getting to have that day just to have fun with you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this part of Storytime, part 11. We are almost done. I keep saying that. I'm going to be so sad when this book is over, though. I'll definitely have to find a new book for us to read. I hope you enjoyed this part, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!